عرض سلام و وقت بخیری دارم خدمت تمام شما دوستای عزیز. امیدوارم که همگیتان جور صحتمند باشین. من محمد ظریف جویا هستم، یک تن از اعضای فمتیک و خوش آمدید میگم شما را به اولین جلسه کورس Unlock Data Science with Python Programming. So at first I will have a brief introduction to the course in Persian language in order to explain everything exactly, and then we will start the course. خب دوستای عزیز، امیدوارم هر جایی که هستین جور صحتمند باشین. من میخوام بسیار به شکل کوتاه پیش از اینکه کورس شروع کنیم درباره کورس معلومات بدیم و قبل از او جا داره تشکری کنیم از پهنتون اویست ژاپن، اوکینیوا اینستیتوت آف ساینس اند تکنولوژی از کشور ژاپن که با ما همکاری کردن و این کورس برگزار کردن. کورس را که ما میخوانیم تحت نام Unlock Data Science with Python Programming توسط فمتیک به هماهنگی فمتیک توسط پهنتون اویست ژاپن تدریس خواهد شد و ارائه خواهد شد و 3 تن از اساتید پروفسورها و دکترای مجربی این پهنتون، هر یک پروفسور دیلان براون که پی اچ دی خود از پهنتون آکلند نیوزیلند گرفتن و همچنان فعلا پست داگ خود به پهنتون اویست اوکینیوا در بخش کوانتوم انفورمیشن with ultra cold atoms انجام میدهند و همچنان تخصصشان در قسمت Python for equipment control, data analysis and theory می باشند. استاد بعدی دکتر اسواتی راج است که بیچلر و ماستری خود دیگری خود از پهنتون IISER کلکتا گرفتن و فعلا پی اچ دی خود در پهنتون اویست ژاپن انجام میدن در قسمت کوانتوم تکنولوژیز یونیت. و استاد بعدی ما جرمن سوسلین می باشه که ماسترای خود از ایسترن فدرال یونیورسیتی آف روسیه گرفتن و فعلا من حیث ریسرچ انترن به پهنتون اویست مصروف هستند و تخصصشان در قسمت کامپیوتر ویژن، نیورال نتورک، قسمت دیتا انالیسیس و همچنان intro research on magnetic thin films and plasmonic device در این بخشا می باشه. ما تشکری میکنیم از پهنتون اویست و از این 3 بزرگوار به خاطر کمکشان و ایجاد همچین کورسی و قرار است که به این کورس ما موضوعاتی که در این کورس بحث میشه موضوعات اکثرا مربوط به دیتا ساینس و یا دیتا انالیسیس می باشه و میخوایم به شکل مختصر و کوتاه موضوعات یا اجندای عمومی کورس به شکل کوتاه ریویو کنم. در این کورس قرار است که ما introduction to data manipulation داشته باشیم، data visualization و همچنان data analysis، advanced data analysis، data filtering و image analysis، همچنان در قسمت computer vision introduction into neural networks، convolutional neural network و همچنان در قسمت object detection درس های خواهم داشت. در ختم کورس از طرف فمتیک و پهنتون اویست ژاپن سرتیفیکیت برای اشتراک کنندگان در نظر گرفته شده. البته این سرتیفیکیت به کسایی داده میشه که در تمامی جلسات اشتراک کرده باشند و همچنان سهم فعال در قسمت انجام اساینمنت و کارخانگی‌هایی که روزمره داده میشن داشته باشند. So thank you everyone once again and herzlich and thank you very much and welcome to our meeting. Professor Dylan Brown, German Suslin, and Aswati Raj. We are greatly appreciating your help for teaching us such amazing and significant course in the world of technology. So I am Mohammad Zarif Joya, member of FEMTIC. I had just a brief introduction and explanation about the course. And now I would be very pleased and appreciated if you just start the course, please.
Hi, everyone can hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So
Yes.
the first class, like I will be teaching for 2 weeks. So I would like to give some introduction about data manipulation, data analysis, as well as visualization. And then second part will be delivering by Dylan. He will talk about more data analysis techniques using Fourier transform and also image analysis. And then later on, the third part will be delivering by German. He will be talking about more application wise in neural networks and I think he will talk about some machine learning aspects. Yeah, so this is the part of our course. So if Dylan and the German want to say something, to add something more.
Yeah, just say thanks. Yeah, I'll see you for the third and fourth lessons, where, as Ashwati said, I'll be talking more about some data analysis, and I'm looking forward to being able to share this information with you.
Thank you for visiting. Thank you for introducing me, Ashwate. And yeah, I will talk more about additional using computer vision, neural networks in different kinds of fields, actually. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, okay, so thanks for the introduction, introducing all of us. Joya, thanks for the introduction. And so I can directly go for the class, right? I can share my content and okay. Okay, so first I will share my screen and then we can start the course. Uh, are you able to see my screen now?
Yes, yes.
Can you see? Okay, so I just want to, okay, so yeah, first, I hope I cannot see anyone now. Okay, so but you can see my, it's a PowerPoint, so everyone can see my PowerPoint, right? It's
Yeah, it's visible.
okay, so I cannot see any of you now, but okay, I hope everyone can see now. Okay, so first I want to just using my PowerPoint, I want to just go through the contents of my course and also want to give a basic idea of data analysis. This is my part. I will be going an introduction to data analysis, how you can manipulate a data and how you can visualize the data. So I separated my topics into two sections, part 1 and part 2. So part 1, like today I am going to introduce you all the numerical programming version. Before going into that, I just want to recap what you already know about Python programming. I'm not going into much details of this, but giving you some examples and some kind of data types that you're already familiar with, I guess, in the previous section. And then I will talk about NumPy, Pandas. These are kind of libraries we use in Python and that have a lot of applications that I'm going to tell you in my class. And then I think we will have time to discuss about taking an actual data and how I can apply these techniques. And then next class, I will be talking about more on data visualization using Matplotlib, and I will talk about some basics of curve fitting, analysis, and so on. So, okay, so now before going into the content, I just want to give a brief idea about this data analysis and what we are going to do through this course. So it's like a definition from Wikipedia. So data analysis is the process of inspecting, cleansing, transforming, and modeling data with the goal of discovering useful information, informing conclusions, and supporting decision making. So this means like you have a large data set in your hand and you want to get some conclusion out of it, because if it is a large data, you don't it's very difficult for you to go through each of the data and to analyze them. So if you get data, sometimes you don't have, like in some data set, you cannot, some data will be missing. And so in these kind of things, you need to rearrange the data. So that's what, like you have to do some cleaning and then you have to transform the data. Also, if you want to visualize the data, it's always good to visualize the things. Then it is easy for us to interpret what is going on. In that case, you need to model the data and visualize it. So these kind of things can be done in data analysis, and you can get good information and conclusions from that. So that's what we are basically doing in data analysis. And if you look at the process of data analysis, it's just given a business question, but it can be any question. If you want to formulate, let's example, you can say that in a university, you want to see the performance of the students. So you can ask that as your question, and you can get what all information you need to get in order to understand that problem. That means you need to for different, there will be in a university, there will be different topics of consideration, physics, maths, or computer science. So you want to see the students in different programs, and also you need to find how to evaluate them. Maybe you need to get some examinations and get their performances. So these kind of things can be considered in getting data. And then you have to explore the data and prepare the data according to in what manner you want to understand that. And then you have to go for analysis. So this analysis is, you have to see for maybe particular, like let's example for physics course, how many students are enrolled, or how is their performances in the examinations. So these kind of things you can do some analysis, and then you can present these findings. So this is kind of a rough idea of the data analysis process. So if you see that, you can see that data can be in different forms. Some of them you can get from online, some data. So this is just a dummy data I got from internet. So these data will be always in, you can see in rows as well as in columns. So you can see lot of columns is there, depends upon how many things you want to understand. So this is kind of a, like this is showing around 25 rows, but there will be big data, contains maybe millions of data. So this will be in different formats. There will be Excel, there will be CSV format, and you can get it from online as well. And this kind of data is our main part of the analysis. And then what we need is, like, as I mentioned, in some kind of data, you can see there will be missing data, right? Like if you see here, so what you need to do, then it's difficult for analysis, right? So then you need to clean these data and do for the further analysis, you need to clear and to make this data a proper one. So, and after that, if you have these data, you can do the analysis. For that, you need basically some mathematical modeling and statistical analysis things. So I will discuss these in the class. And then the finally, like data visualization. I mean, if you can see here, this is kind of a sales of spices, some data. And if you put this data in a kind of a graphical representation, you can easily understand. Like from this, you can see that saffron is like around 29% of the total proportion of the production, and then ginger, cumin. So it's very easy for you to understand what's happening if you're putting it in a data, I mean, in a plot wise. Also, you can see that here some, this is kind of a histograms. There are different kinds of plots. Some of them will be pie charts and some will be histograms. There will be scatter plots. So this kind of depends upon different data and how you wanted to make it, more easy to communicate. In that way, you can decide which chart will be beneficial for your findings. And then the main importance of this data visualization is like you can speed up data interpretation. Also, you can reveals about trends and patterns and interprets large amount of data. Also improves communication. So we always know that it's better to, if you're having in a graphical representation, it is very easy to interpret the data. So that's what we have to do through this data analysis. And now we all are like, for this course we are using Python for data analysis. So the major advantage of that is like it is basically an open source programming language. It's free and it is simple to learn and it is intuitive to learn. And they have like lot of powerful libraries and modules. That is, for example, NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib. I will talk about this in the class. And it is also well supported. That means if you have any difficulties in coding and all, there is lot of supporting documents available in the online. It's also free. So these are some of the advantages of Python for data analysis. Some of you may be familiar with other kind of like MATLAB and other kind of programming languages. Some of them are like not free, but like Python is free. With Python, if you use different libraries, it is so powerful for numerical analysis. So this is kind of a basic idea of this data analysis. And now I would like to go to the actual script that I have prepared. So everyone, so it's fine, right? So if you have any questions, you can just maybe unmute and tell me, or you can message in the chat box. Because if I didn't get, some responses, maybe I don't know whether you're following or not. So if you have any doubt, you can just ask me. So just using this PowerPoint, I just want to give you an overall idea of what's going on in this data analysis thing. And so now I can talk about. So for this data course, what we all are doing is basically we are working in Google Colab. I think you all are maybe familiar with Google Colab. I think in the previous section, I just go through the previous video and I think he was introducing Google Colab. Okay, so anyway, I can show you like for this this Google Colab, what we are aiming is you can do everything online. You don't need to download Python and any of the things. You can just do everything in online. For that purpose, we are using this Google Colab. So if you all have a Gmail ID, you can log in into Google Colab. So so this is like how it looks like. So I prepared the script in the Google Colab and it's looked like this. And I wanted to actually share this script to all of you and you can try whether you can access this. Maybe I will just share this now. I think I can share in the Google Meet. So I think my screen is. I have sent the link into the chat box. Oh, sorry, now only I have seen the messages. Oh, okay, sorry. Okay, so I am like, okay, I will try to slow down. I couldn't see the messages. Now only I just okay, so like if some of you just speak up, then I could have understand. Okay, sorry. Okay, I will try to slow down. So I have sent the link in the chat box, and you can try open the link. Okay, so I can just tell you like what you can do. So if you open the link, I think you can see my script, and then you can, I will tell you what you have to do. You can try it, whether you can run that in your computer. And also make sure like when you open the script, you just make a file and save a copy in your drive. So you will create another file. Otherwise, I think the same file everyone can maybe edit. So once you open my file, it's better to save a copy, and if you want to work on it, then work on that copy actually. And so in this Google Colab, I prepared this script, and all my data is uploaded in my drive. So if you want to run some data or something, you need to upload the data in your Google Drive, and we can mount all the data into our Google Colab script, and then we can run the data. Okay, so I think it's clear. Okay, it's opening. Okay, it's fine. So so you can see that for this I need to send you some of the data. So similarly, I can share you the data. Then in order to run that, you have to upload those data into your Google Drive. You can upload like new and upload file upload. You can upload your data, and then you can I think run the script. Okay, so now I will start the program.
Excuse
So
me,
this is my program.
there is a question. Excuse me, I think one of students is saying that link is not working, but it worked for me actually. I don't know for others.
Okay. Okay, maybe I don't maybe okay. I think it's working. So if some of you have if any problem, maybe you can maybe discuss later, or if
Yeah, I agree. For majority, it works. It seems.
okay.
Can I put a
Okay.
few words here,
Thanks.
Ashwathi? So it's me, German. Yeah, if it not works, be sure that you enter
Okay.
in your Google account. Be sure that your Google account is active now. So it's free, but yeah, should you should have a Google account to use it. Sorry for interrupting.
No. Okay, then like I just showing that if you want to, because all of our contents, all the data, everything is like linking with Google, the Drive. You can use this code to mount all your Google Drive into Google Colab. So I think anyway, these are in your script, so you can try that. So I just want to go through some basic introduction of the Python. So I just want to recap some of the Python data types. So you may be familiar with data types, right? So basically there is different data types such as integer, float, and string. So these are extremely important things. Like if you go for any mathematical calculation or something, this data type is important. So I just want to give some examples. So this is a program. You can see that. So I'm just asking you a question. Can you tell me the answer of this? So for that, you can see that first I'm inputting a number, and that means if I run this code, you can see that it asks for first number, and then asks for a second number, and then we are going to do the sum, right? So if I run this code, yeah, it's taking some time, but yeah, it's asking for first number. So let's say I just type number 10. and then second input is going for the another number, right? So I will type for 5. So what do you expect the answer? So the process is happening here is sum, which is basically first plus second, and I'm printing the sum. So what do you expect? Okay, let's see what's the answer. You see, it's not the sum, right? It's basically, if you're actually doing the sum, it is like 15, right? But what happening here is it's 105. So what happened here is, this first is not a number actually. It's a basically a string. So whatever we are giving its number, but it's a string, and this is another string. So if you add these two strings, it's basically doing, combining these two. That's why like 10 and 5 got combined. So in order to, if you want actually this program to work as a sum, what you need is like you give the same thing, but for the sum, what you want, the integer of this first value. That means it was actually a string, but you can convert it into integer. So you can use the int of first and int of second. Then in this program, we can see that whether it's actually working or not. So I'll give the number 10 and then 5. And now it worked. It's 15 now. So that's what so it's you have to be extremely careful about the data types. So this is just an example to show that this was a string, and this in order to get the actual sum, you need to convert it into integers.
Integer, sorry, in this context means the number, yeah?
Yeah. Can you, sorry, can you repeat the question?
We wrote int integer, and an integer in this context means the input is number, yeah?
So you will take, yes, the input of the whatever the first that we are giving. I mean, I can just type here. If you see the type, maybe here I can type. If I say, if you want to know, if I just type of first, maybe I can. So the first is basically input first number, right? So if I type here type of first, you can see it's a string. So whatever we are giving, in the if you give, even if you give the first number as 10, so it will be actually a string. But if you want it as a number, so you have to go for int of yeah, now it becomes an integer. Is that your question? Like the number 10 is an integer, but here if you're giving the first equals input of, so that input of this will be actually a string. So you cannot add those two. Is that
Correct.
clear?
Yes, correct. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so that's what, now we converted it as integer, int of that. So now you can add those things. And then there is kind of you can find the length of the string. So if you see here A and B, I have given two strings. And if you see what is the length of the string, you can see the first one is 13 and second one is 11. So you can see that because if you count the length, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There is a space. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and there is an exclamation 13. So even the space, you see, it's kind of considered here in the length of the string. And in this B, you can see there is no space here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So just for an example, I have given if this space is also considered that. And then as I mentioned, you can find the type of a quantity. Sometimes maybe if you're confusing what type is that, you can just do the type of. So you can see that here, X is I have given a number, Y is in a quotation mark, John, and Z is equal to 8.0. So if you see the type of these three, you can see that first one is an integer and second one is a string. So basically string will be always quoted in integer, quoted in quotation marks. And then you can see is a float. Float is basically a decimal point. And you can change the same thing. Like if I have a number 3, you can change the same thing into both string, integers as well as float. So if you see, like I have given X is equal to string of 3, Y is equal to integer of 3, and Z is equal to float of 3. So if you run this, you can, like, even if it is string, if you're printing, you can, it won't be come out as like in quotation marks, it will become like this. And you can see the integer and float will be, if you 3.0. So I have just given a, like, you can try in your home, you don't have to submit or something, but you can just try. I have given 3 variables, like A is ant, B is ball, and C is cat. And you can use Python expressions like addition, and this star mark is basically multiplication. I hope you had like these in the earlier courses. And I just want you to try this. Using these, can you get this ant, ball, and cat? So I just given one example for this. So you have to first define A is ant, B is ball, and C is cat. And I have shown like 3 different print wise. If I print A, comma, B, comma, C, so we can see what is the answer. It comes out ant, ball, and cat. So if you see, if I put comma here, instead of that, if I add A, B, C, so what it will come out? You see, both of them are merged. So if you're adding these 3 strings, it cannot show any gap. It will be, after and, it will be combining that with ball, and then cat will be combined with that. So that's what. So if you want this addition, but at the same time, if you want a gap, what you can do is A plus, you can add the quotation mark, and then again you can add plus, because that gap is considered as a string. And then you can add ball, and again you can create a space, and again you can create the C. So if you print this, you can create add ball cat. Otherwise, you can just use A, comma, B, comma, C. It will come out as a like gap. So this is one example of how to create this. And similarly, you can create, there is another I was asking about, and like it's kind of 8 times. So what you can do is 8 times this and. So you can do 8 into A is and you need the gap, right? That's why I am doing this. If you see, if I didn't put this, I think you understood, right? Like A is and 8 times we are repeating the and. So it 8 into this and if you didn't put this string, what is happening is, you see, all of them will be together. So you have to add this quotation mark, this space, in order to make this. So similarly, you can try how you can make ant, ball, ball, cat, cat, cat. And similarly, you can try home these 3 using these ABC variables and this addition and multiplication. And then this is like you can define variables X, Y, Z as orange, banana, and cherry. So if you print all these things, you can see that it come out as orange, banana, and cherry because you have 3 variables and you are defining in 3 strings. So it will automatically assign, X will assign the value orange, Y will assign the value banana, and Z will assign the value cherry. If you want all of them to be the same, like you can just do x equals y equals z as orange. So it will come out like this. And you can also create a list. If I create fruits in a list like apple, banana, and cherry, and I have given x, y, z variables as fruits, so this will be assigning this fruits will go into this list, and you can see that x, y, z comes out to be apple, banana, and cherry. So these are just going through some examples, so that's why I'm quickly going. And if you see, like these all are like already discussed. Like if you can combine, basically x is an integer and y is a string. You can combine x comma y, but you cannot add. Like if you want to do the summation, you always have to be the same data type. Only integer and integer can be summed up, and string can be summed up. If you have a different data types, that will show error. So this is kind of some data types example. And now I just want to give you some other examples of user input Python programs. So I can ask you, like, can you create a simple program to find your age if you give your birth year? It's simple program, right? You can just define birth year as, because I am asking, if you give your birth year, find your age. So you wanted to ask, enter your birth year, right? So for that you can use input and enter your birth year. So this is a string, and then you can find the age. Age you can find by 2023, this year, minus birth year. So if you didn't use this, maybe I can just initially. Okay, if I just say 2023 minus birth year, and then print your ages. So if I run this program, I already showed this, but just so if I say my year, you see, so it's like indent. They're already showing the error because it's going through this, and it's saying that integer and string, because if you're doing this subtraction, this is an integer and this is a string, so you cannot do the minus, even addition, minus, anything. It has to be the same type. So I convert this into an integer, and then if I run this, so now you can see that it's calculated my age. So that is a simple program, just but make sure if something is there, make sure about the string and integer type, because otherwise it will show the error. And then this is another program I just made for getting information of a person, because this use some if, else statement. I think you're familiar with this in the basic Python course. So I can run this. So it is asking, first one, hello, what is your name? If I say my name, it's asking what is my age. So they will ask, what are you doing? So I say, like I'm a student. So then they will ask, what are you studying? Like you can say I'm doing PhD kind of. Can do. So which year are you in? Okay, thank you for information. So this is kind of getting to know a person, like introducing someone, right? So in this, you can play with this, and you can try whatever other conditions I have given. So one thing you can say that in this I have given job.lower and job.upper. So that means job is the input. What are you doing? So if I'm saying that if the answer is student, and this one job.lower is student, job.upper is student, that means sometimes we will type it in capital and sometimes we can type it in small letter, right? So if I give these two conditions, whatever the condition, it will accept it. That's why I have given these two conditions. Because like if you see, maybe I can run this again. Yeah, so like if I give, even if it is, if I give this small letter, or also if I gave like, student, it will work. That's why I have given these two conditions here, job dot lower, job dot upper. This should be working. Then even
What
if it, if you're,
sorry, what if some letters are
yeah, can you,
what if some letters are uppercase, some are lowercase? Then it will not work.
yeah, I think I checked it. I think it's working. Maybe we can give, you mean like this, right? Yeah, it will work because we given if it is lower or upper, that means uppercase and lowercase both work. Even if you, maybe I can show another example. Okay, maybe I can. I have to again run the whole thing, Okay. Let me try now. So you mean something like this? Let me try.
Yeah.
Okay,
Correct.
it's working. It's working. But if you didn't give this condition, a leaf, it won't. I mean, it will only work whatever you are giving here. But in this case, lower and upper, so it will work in whatever way. Okay, so I will just say something. Just okay. So if I go for another, like, what are you doing? If you go say anything else, if you see, if you're a student, they will ask for these questions. If it is else, ask for some of your job, kind of thing. This is just a simple example I have given. You can extend this program by asking lot of questions and lot of if else statements. You can improve this actually. And this is another program. So this is one kind of a game because we had some programming boot camp here in OIST. So in that case, they have told at the end of that, it's a basic introduction course. They told, try to make your own program, come up with a new idea and try to make a simple program by yourself. And in that case, I prepared this script. It's looks like lot of lines, but it's kind of a simple, just giving input and getting the printing the values and all. So you can run, I can maybe show. It's kind of a fun kind of a mathematical, maybe you can say math magic. So I'm saying let's play a math game. Maybe some of you can maybe volunteer. If anyone want to volunteer this, maybe just kind of a fun. Some of you can help me out. Can any of you just say that which game you want to play, game A or game B? Game A, you want to do some math calculation. It's simple. You have like pen and paper. It's a simple math. Can any of you just say which game you want to play? Maybe I will type. Maybe some of you can help me. Like, okay, so some of you please guess a number between 0 to 1. Don't tell me. Just guess a number between 0 to 9.
7.
Oh, okay. No, maybe don't tell me. Just guess in your mind. Don't tell me. Okay.
Okay.
Maybe,
Now I'm
okay. We can run it one more time. Then you have to do all these process. Guess a number and multiply the guess number with the 2. Then add the number with 2. So maybe you can note it down or maybe just type something. We can again. Okay, I will run again this. Okay, sorry.
fine.
You see, each comment is coming after some time because I use a Python like called sleep. If you use this sleep, next line will appear after some like the seconds. So that's why like this sleep is using. So I opt for A, and some of you can guess a number between, don't tell me, just guess a
Mhm.
number, and
Okay.
multiply the guess number with 2. Don't tell me, I will tell you when you need to tell. Then add that number with 2.
Okay.
Then multiply the number with 5.
Mm-hmm.
Then add the number with 5.
Okay.
And then multiply the number with 10.
It's 10. Okay.
Okay, then can you tell me the answer?
Yeah.
The final answer after multiply with number
final
10.
answer, it's 350, and the number which
Oh, no,
I
wait, no, don't tell me the number.
okay
350.
350.
Okay. So the number you guessed is 2, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. So it's basically a mathematic. I mean, like if you're guessing any number between 0 to 9, the answer should be, it's like you get a final answer. So that is this n, right? So you will
Yeah.
enter a number. So n by 100. So the final
That's-
answer was how much? It was 350. 350 by 100. It's basically 3.5, right?
Mhm.
So basically it's taking the integer of that 3.5, that is 3, then 3 minus 1, it's 2. So it's always like, if you have a end number, you can go which number you guessed. It's kind of a, it's always like that. So
Okay.
you just programmed such a way, because you need only the end number, you can calculate the guess number. So it's kind of a simple math game. So this is kind of the thing I did. So similarly, you can try any new program. So that's what just I wanted to show you, just with some examples. And you can have some Python tutorials and symbol exercise you can try and practice. I have put this in the script. You see, like there is a link here I have given. You can open that, and there is lot of exercise you can go for, variables, and you can do, like these are some of the, you can try yourself, like so they were asking a lot of questions in here, and there will be quiz also. You can try it yourself. Python data types.
What is this platform? It's only for making some exercise.
There is some tutorial also, you can see if you for Python. I think it's for all, I think, programs is there, but you can choose which program you want to learn. I mean, you can learn Python, then it will go to Python, and you can see like Java and all. There is some tutorial also. You can go for the tutorial. I think if you go next. Yeah, you can see Python introduction. So you can go for the tutorials, as well as they have some quiz. They have some, you can also do some home, means exercise they have. You can try a lot of things. If you open, you can see a desktop, you can run things. So I just want to see some. Okay, there is some exercise also. Okay, if you see like in the top, you can see tutorials, and if you want to exercise, you can go for like, Python. You can start Python exercise. Yeah, there is kind of a point and all. This is just for you can easily practice. You can choose which one you want to practice. There is Python quiz, there is exercise, and you can choose which one you want to try. I mean, if you want Python data types, go for it, and try yourself. Then it will go for a new terminal. But you see, for example, the following code example would print the data type of X. What data type would that be? So we can, for example, X is equal to 5, print type of X. So what is this type of X? It should be integer, right? So you can maybe type int, submit answer. Let's see how it is. You see it go to the exercise page and submit answer. Okay, it's correct. So then you can go for next exercise. This is to get you familiar with the data types. Also, if you want go for another things, Python booleans, you can go for exercise. The statement below would print a boolean value. Which one?
False.
print 10 equals 9.
That's
So
false.
if you like, yeah, it's like kind of false, and you can try with this. So I think it's better exercise. Like you can, if you are like kind of, want to get more familiar with the, it's kind of a symbol, I think. Also, they show the answers also. So it's easy for you to practice. Yeah, then also like I have created one assignment. So it's like for the introduction of the Python course, the question is like, because you already had some basics course, so I just want to create you a simple your own program. So it can be a game, the same way I did made a game, right? So you can develop a game, or you can do a payment choice in a shop. Someone come into the shop, and you have like, they can do their shopping by themselves, right? So they can ask, okay, how many products you have, so you can type, and then which mode of payment you want to do, cash or card. So these kind of options you can ask. So you can create a simple program like that, or you can create a program which can convert units, centimeter to kilometers, Celsius to Fahrenheit, and all sorts of things. Or you can design a multiple choice question bank. So if you have some questions, and you have 4 options of the questions, and you can if you find answers for that, and at the end they will say that how many questions you are passed, or how many out of 10 questions, how many you have passed. So you can create your own simple program. You can use internet and all to get the idea, but try to add something more to be more creative, just for a fun. You can try by yourself. You can use like my examples, as well as to maybe as a reference and all. You can develop, maybe you can take some of this and you can improve this, develop more on these kind of things. Yeah, so that's all just kind of a warm-up kind of thing for the Python introduction. And okay, now I think it's fine, right? Okay, so I will go to the actual module. Okay, now I will go for I talked about this NumPy and Pandas, these kind of libraries. So for the data analysis thing, this NumPy thing, this is the basics for this. If you see for most of the data analysis things, this NumPy is basically a library of the Python, and it supports large multi-dimensional arrays and matrices, and you can do lot of mathematical functions in these arrays. In order to use this NumPy, if you have the Python, it's already installed. NumPy is already there. You have to just import NumPy as NP in the Python. But here we are running this as online. I mean, this Google Colab. You have to basically install this NumPy. So you have to do this pip install NumPy. So it's already installed in this. That's why it's showing. But if you're firstly you're using this, you have to install NumPy, and then you have to import, because we already all the time we use this NumPy as short form NP. So you can import NumPy as NP. So then after that you can just use NP dot if you want to use the NumPy things. So in the NumPy, so these are kind of basic steps. If you want to create an array using NumPy, you can just do np.array in a bracket, and you have to do the square bracket to create the array. So if you type A, you can see it is come out as array. So if you do print of A, it just shows the array 1, 2, 3. For it doesn't show typing it as array, but if you just type A, it comes out like that. So this is how you create an array. And so this is another example of an array. It's basically, I have given some float also, like 0.5, 1, 1.52. This is another array. So, and then in this array, how you can identify individual elements. If you see A of 0, A of 1, that means you are getting the first element of this array. So the index starts from 0, 1, 2, 3. So the first one, the index will be 0. So if you want the first element of this array, you have to say A of 0, and the second element A of 1. If you want third element A of 2, and also like if you want the last element, you can also type A of -1. That will identify you the last element of the, so it's 4. You will get the last element. So this is the way you have to identify each of the elements. Then if you A of 0, and then if you see this double dot, that means you are considering all the elements afterwards. So that means from 0 to end of the array. So if I take here this as 2, you can see it starts from 0, 1, 2. 2 is the index of 3 is basically 2 here, right? 0, 1, 2. So 2 to after this dot, that means after the whatever how many elements are left, you have to show all these things. So this is from until entire array. So if you see 1 is to 3, that means you can see from 1 till 3. So if you see this array 1 till 3 means 2 to 3. The element 2 and 3. So one thing you have to notice here, the last value is not, last index is not included. So that means this is 3, right? So 3 means 0, 1, 2, 3. 3 means the fourth element, but in this array we can see only 2 and 3. That means it's only starting from 1, only these 2 and 3 is appeared. That means the last value is excluded in this case. So if you want last value, you have to do like this, in this 2, 3, 4. Okay. And if you type this, like you can see from 1 till -1. -1 is so this is like a 0, 1 from 2 to 3. So that is like you can see similarly the last value is not included because -1 is basically the last element, right? So but if you're going from A to B in this format, the last index is not included. That's why you are getting only 2 and 3. So if you go for this, you can see that you will get array of 1 to 3. That means maybe I can define here. It's like A of start index, then end index, and the step. So it's kind of this form. You need all elements from the beginning, and the step size is they are showing 2. So all the elements from the beginning till end, and the step size is 2. That's why we are getting 3, right? Maybe I can type here A also. Maybe it's difficult to go for okay, so our A is basically 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can see that this is like these 2 dot. That means it's starting from the beginning. That means 1 till the end, but the step size is 2. So that means 1. That's why it's showing only 1 and 3. So you can just follow this notation. And you can see similarly for B of 0, B of 2, B of -1, Maybe I can print the.
I'm really sorry. Actually, I
Ah,
couldn't
sorry.
read the line of code very well. Could you please repeat it once again?
Okay. So you understood, like we can just a square bracket of a of 0. That means we are considering the first element, a of 0. The index starts from, if you see, the index
Yeah, only
starts.
the last one, the last line.
Okay. Index
Yeah.
starts from 0, 1, 2, 3. And if you see, like if you given something like maybe okay. I'm saying this is like two elements, A and B. So if you have kind of this notation, A, I don't know what to say, like this two dot dot.
No.
So if you have A is to B, maybe you can say that means starting from A to B minus 1. This is basically index, right? A and A is some index of, index means if you have an array like 0, 1, 2, 3. So if I say like A is to B, the starting from index, maybe I can say index A to so it will start from index A to index B minus 1. B is not included. That is showing here. But you can see here, here this is in this form. Like the basic structure is the start index, end index, start index, end index, and step. So here the start index is showing, there is no index is showing, but you have like two this dot symbol. That means everything from the beginning has to be included. And then the end index, so it's that means all the elements till the end is included, and this is basically step size. Step size means if it is nothing is given, step size is 1, means 0, then you have to go for 1, 2, 3. But if step size is 2, that means first element, then you have to skip the next one, only first, and then go for the third. That's what step index 2 means. So if
Okay.
the
Enough.
so if
Thank
the
you.
array is 1, 2, 3, 4, this dot is to dot. That means no elements are there. That means from the beginning till end. That means 1 to 4 you have to go, but the step size is 2. That means you don't have to put 2, because after 1, after 2 step size it's 3. So that's why only 1 and 3 is given.
Okay, got it now. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
so
That was a little bit
yeah.
confused for me.
Yeah, I mean, like if we see like that's confusing. So maybe if you see here 1 is to 2, that means from beginning till all the
Yeah.
means after dot. I mean, if there is a dot, that means you have to print all the arrays after till the end. So 1 is to, that means 2, 3, 4 is there. From
Okay.
yeah, so you can try it like with the different elements, and you can try by yourself. Then it will be clear. Yeah. So similarly for the B. Yeah, so this is like B, and you can see that B of 0 is 0, first element. B of 2 is, you can see 0, 1, 2, it's 1. And B of minus 1 is the last element 2. So similarly, you can take each of the, you can access each of the elements in an array using these square brackets. Now I would like to just give you an idea about why number is more powerful. So you have to just consider about the memory, how much memory it is using. So numbers are basically smaller. It stores numbers with a less number of bytes. But in Python, if you're using Python, because even in the Python, we are using this NumPy library here. So that will be more powerful. So that's what I'm going to show you. For example, if you want to find the size of a number, you can just go for import system and then sys get size. This is the code for. So if I just type what is the size of this integer, so you can see that it is 28 bytes. That means in Python, an integer is stored. It's like greater than 20 bytes. So if you see for the float, you can see it's like 24 bytes. So for different, for the integer it's 28 and for the float it is 24. So here I can, also you can see that this consumption is higher for the list. So because the list you can create it using square bracket, right? So you can see that the size of this list, you can see it's even more. It's 64 bytes. Another way you can just but in that case, if you consider for the NumPy arrays, you can see that np.array number of bytes it's 8. So for the list, you can see it's for 64, and you can see that I'm using NumPy arrays. So it's np.array. It's only less number it's using. So the memory is less for the integers it's using here. So this is for an example. I don't know how many times should I go. Okay, we have one more hour kind of. This is showing like the how many memory you can. For example, if you have a list, I'm giving like 10, 20, 30, and you can find the list size as size of list, and element size is length of list into size of list, and list size total is list of this size of the list plus element size. That's give the total size. So maybe we can just run this and we can compare with. So this is the size of the list without elements. So that is basically if you're just getting size of list, you are getting the size. The elements is not considered here. It's only the size of the list and the size of all the elements. So if you want to find the element size, you have to go for the length of the list. So and then size of each of the element. So in this case, we are considering the size of the each of the elements is same, and then total size is basically sum of these two.
So in here, I mean, the measurement unit will be bytes, right? Am I right?
Sorry?
Is it 88, 84, or 172 bytes, or?
It's
ABC?
172 bytes basically.
Okay, got it now.
Yeah. So if you have like, so now I just added one more element into this list. So let's see how is the change of the, okay. So you see, even if you add more, I added one more number, right? But the size of the list doesn't changes. But if we add like another number, yeah, size of the list changes. So I think after adding two numbers, the size of the list is changing. So this, so even if you have like, if you have more number of elements in a list, the size of the list will be going very higher. And this is how the memory usage, if you added one more element, so that's what I'm showing. So this is like with 3 elements. So how is the memory changes if you add one more element? You can just compare with that. And you can see that the size of all elements changed, right? Because we have one more element, so the size changed, and the total size now it's 200, and here it was like 172. So this is the case of a list I am showing. But now if you go for the NumPy arrays, so you can for an integer, you can just type. So the size of the integer is only 8 bytes in the NumPy array. But if you use in the Python, we have seen that for an integer, it's 28 bytes. So you can see that it's more less memory for the integers. And also in this NumPy, even for the float and integers, the size is not changing. It's the same. Even but in the Python, if we see for the float and integer, the size is different. So I'm just giving here an array and the printing the size. So it's like you can compare this with the previous one, and this is an empty array, the size. Also, other thing like in number, you can specify how many, like how can you can reduce the size. You can just given another thing I just want to mention here is I was talking about 28 byte, right? So basically 8 bits becomes 1 byte. So if you see for so you have to just remember 8 bits. We know that in computer all the numbers is stored in bits, either 0 or 1. So 8 bits gives 1 byte, and if you can see that in the number array, an integer is stored in 8 bytes. That means it is like 64 bit. So this integer is stored in 64. So that is the size in 64. So if you see the okay. So, but then you can also change the size. So normally it is in 64, but you can reduce the size by you can already given np.int 8 or np.int 16. You can basically change the size. You can see, for example, this is an array, right? 10, 12, 14. So if you use np.int 8, you can see that the size is only 115. But if it is in 64, you can see the size is 136. So basically in this, you can change the how, if you want to reduce the memory, you can go for np.int 8 in order to reduce it. Also, you have to see that how much time is needed for to do some operations. For example, I have given here is a list. So this is basically a range of 100,000. So it's go from 0, 1, 2, 3 to 100,000. And okay, so I don't want to print it. That's why I'm just showing. So I have a list and I have an, this is NumPy array. So you can create a NumPy array like this using a range. I will discuss this. And then what it's doing here is list and a NumPy array. And if you use this slash time, then you can see that how much time it taking. So if you do, so what we are doing here is a square. That means each of the elements in the array, you have to do the square. A square means 1 square, 2 square, 3 square, and then you have to do the sum. For example, I can maybe do for a small one. So a is equal to 1, 2, 3. So then what they are doing is they are doing the square of 1 square, 2 square, 3 square, and then adding all these. If you see, this list is basically 100,000, 1, 2, 3 till 100,000, and then doing the square of each of those elements and adding. So let's see how much time we are taking for this. Yeah, it's this is like, if you see, the time it takes is like 974 microseconds to calculate in this NumPy. But if you see for this is for the list, right? So we create a list L, and you can see that they are doing the sum using x square for x in L. So for the NumPy, it's easy. You can do this np.sum a square. But in the list, you created a list and you define a variable x square for x in L. That means x is a variable. It goes for each of the element in L and calculating x square. And you can see that how much time it's taking for this. Okay, sorry, it's int object is not okay. So we are doing sum of x square for x of x. Okay, so there is an error that's showing like okay, sum of So we are basically doing sum of x square for x in L. Okay, maybe just I will type, I cannot maybe. Try to call an integer as it was a function. Okay. Integer. Okay. Okay, I was doing like this earlier, so okay, maybe I just try to call an integer into of object as it was a function. Mm. Okay, I don't understand what is the problem here. For x in, so we are defining the integers here. Range list of. Sum of x square for x in L. Okay, maybe I can check it later and tell you. So basically, if you maybe some of things there will be some error I was trying to do.
Yeah, it should be fine. We can you can
Okay.
do it next time because that happens sometimes.
Okay. Okay, so the so when like you do this, you can see that in the list it will takes more time. Like it will be more kind of millisecond compared to this calculation in NumPy. Sorry. Can you say again?
It is different if write NumPy before the sum. np.sum.
Yeah, like it's in NumPy, you can do like np.sum. Because NumPy has a lot of, you can just do np. Np is like you're calling the NumPy and you can do dot sum. It's kind of, it will work in NumPy. But in like the list, you have to do in this way. And so what is your question? So you ask it is np.sum. Sorry.
Yeah, if we write it or we don't write, no difference.
So can you again say like in NumPy, like we can just calculate the sum using np.sum, like just np.sum. You can calculate the sum of whatever you want. Like maybe if I just define like to list and all, I can just add using np.sum. Okay, maybe we can discuss it later. I can just try, maybe, I have to maybe type it and see what's the problem. Okay, so another advantage I wanted to show is this is two lists, right? A and B. So if you multiply A into B, it will show an error actually. Because you cannot multiply two lists. So the list you cannot multiply two of them like that. But in NumPy arrays, what you can do is A is you define a np dot array, you define first array, and B you define another array. So if you do multiplication, you can actually got the multiplication. What they are doing is 1 into 3, 2 into 4, and 3 into 5. So in NumPy, it's very easy. But in list, if you want to do any operations in NumPy, you just create two of the arrays and you can do whatever operation. If you want addition, you can do if you want multiplication, if you want addition, you can just do. Oh, sorry. A plus B. You can add these two. You see, if you want to divide, if you want to multiply, so whatever operation, it's easy to do in these number arrays.
In the previous one, it was not NP, yeah? What was the type? That
It
we
was
couldn't...
NPS, yeah. I mean, numbers, it's like we are importing number as NP, right? From import, and so this NP, why it's NP, that means like we are importing it as NP. You see, import number as NP. So whatever, because we are importing a new library here, Python library. So you have to
No, my
import
question,
that.
sorry. My question
So-
was why we couldn't do the multiplication, because the type was not NP. What was the type? Because we couldn't do the, we couldn't
Oh,
multiply.
it's actually a list. It's actually a list. The list you cannot multiply like that. If you want to multiply the list, you have to create a variable x, and x. You see, like the similar to what I was trying to. You see, you have to define like the variable for x in L, and so then another one like you have to define like that. In this kind of way only, like you can do the multiplications in list, or you cannot directly multiply to list. But in NumPy, that is, it's more easy. So if you create, even if you create a list, you can convert this list into array in NumPy, and you can do basically the multiplication and all addition. Maybe I can just
Okay,
show you an
correct,
example.
correct.
Yeah. So maybe
Thank
you
you.
can just create a list. That's why people are using. Maybe I create a list 1, 2, 3, and B is equal to 2, 3, 4, and so we cannot multiply this, right? So if we say that we multiply and into. So, okay, what I was trying to do. Maybe I will do A plus B. Oh, okay, you see, it's like not going to, if you're doing in this way, it's just doing like this 1, 2, 3, and I mean, it's not getting the correct, it's not doing adding. So what you want to do is you can create A is equal to NP dot array of A. That means you're converting this A into an array now, and B is equal to, similarly, if I convert it into NP dot array of B, and then now if I add A plus B, you can see now addition is working, right? If you convert it
thank you.
into arrays. So that's one of the major advantage of going into arrays than, in list and all. So you can do all operations very easily. So another some important functions you can use in NumPy arrays is, one is arange. That means creation of arrays with evenly spaced values. So if we create A is equal to NP dot arange 1 to 8, that means you're creating from 1 to 8, but the upper limit is not included. So that means if you print A now, it's from 1 to 7. So it's equally spaced. 8 is not included, upper limit is not included. So this is like for x is equal to range of, okay, what I was trying to do. Okay, so this is like x is an okay, so this is like basically showing the list from 1 to 7, and if you want to change, this is like another ranging from 12 to 4, and you can see that x is going from 0 to 12 point only till the 12.4 is not included, so it is showing beforehand, and you can see it's always going for evenly spaced. And this one is like, maybe I can just go for each of them, otherwise it's confusing. So this is nb.a range, so it's going from 0 till 12. So this is actually giving a float value, right? 12.4. So it will all giving the values is in float. And now if I go for nb.a range from 0.3 to 12.4, that means starting from 0.3 going for 12.4 and 0.8. So this is basically the step size. So it will equally go for every 0.8 step. So if you don't give this step value, it will automatically give for 1. Like the difference will be 1. But if you're giving a specify here step value, then it will go from 0.8. So if you print here, you can see from 0.3, then it's added 0.8, and so it's 1.1, then again 0.8. So the step size, if you specify the step size, it will go through that. And you can see that it is still 12.4, so the last value is not included. So if you add for 0.8, it will come up 12.3. So it does not show 12.4 before that. So this is its basic structure: start, stop, step, and so the D type is none. So if you want to convert it into integer, you can give that, like kind of type. If I say type equals int, then it will convert into an integer. So it will go from all the integer values, taking from 0 till here it is going from 15. Okay, so it's always showing the integers value here. Maybe, okay. Yeah, you can basically specify the values what you want. But if I see here integer, it's I think it's showing not the correct value, because it's starting from 0.3 and they are consider it as 0. Okay, yeah, it's showing the same value. You see, it's 0 and 0.8. So the 0.8 they will consider it as 1. So they will consider it as 1, and so 12.4 they considered it as like it should consider it's 12, but here it is showing 13, 14, 15. So I think it's showing some error then. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's, yeah, so maybe if I give here 12.9, it's same thing. Okay, I think if you see give here D type, there is some problem. So, but you can specify that, but depends upon, maybe if you're giving integer, maybe it's maybe not safe all the time. So this is like starting, this is ending, and this is the space, basically step size. The another quantity you can use is the linspace. So in the linspace, if you give, it's like default, its step size is 50. So because if you go for np.linspace 1 to 5, it's go from 1 till 5 with 50 step size. So you see, from 1 to 5, if you count, this will be actually 50. So it's divided 1 to 5 into 50. So if you didn't specify it, go for 50, but you can specify the step size. np.linspace 1 to 10, and if you give 5, you can see that it's going from 1 to 10 with a step size of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. You can also exclude. So in this linspace, another important factor is the final point is included. But if you see in the A range and all, the final value is not included. So if you want something, if you want the final value is included, you can maybe use this linspace. So the final value is included in this linspace. If you don't want to, you can just put endpoint is false. The final point is not included. If you see, this is from 1 to 10. It is step size of 5, 1. Then it's splitting into 2.8, 4.6. And the final point 10 is not showing. It's only showing 8.2.
5 is number of elements, yes?
Yeah, it's number of elements basically.
Correct. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe like, yeah, I should have said it's basically elements, like kind of how many you will divide from 1 to 5, you will divide it into 50 steps. So you have 50 equal step size there. So similarly, you can see from 0 to 1, like it's like 5 steps, like 0.25, 0.5. Basically it's a number of elements. You can say also, you can say that it's basically how it's dividing. Like with the 5 elements, so 0, then 0.25, then again 0.25, 0.25. So splitting it 0 to 1 with 5. So you can try this, like checking. And another thing is like reshaping. So if you have an array like np.arrange, you can see this is an array, right? So you can reshape these arrays into different for example, you can see that now I can change this array into 2 rows and 5 columns. So how you can do that? You can do that using dot reshape. So if you do 2 and 5, that means you are converting it into 2 rows and 5 columns. So that's what this are. So you have an array of 10 elements and you do reshaping. You got this. So similarly, if you see, I am creating np.arrange of 100 elements and I am reshaping. You can see how I am reshaping. So if you see like 3 of these elements, that means you are converting it into 2 main rows, and then you can see it's in 10 rows, and then each of them will be like 10 rows and each of them will be 5 columns. Is it clear?
Just a question.
Mm.
Because since I'm the beginner, what is the
Okay.
reshape? It's like an option for library np arrange. Yeah. I don't know the terms.
So if you see, we are using all these things in the NumPy array. So what all things you can do in NumPy arrays? There is arrange function, there is reshape function, there is linspace, there is dot sum. Lot of functions are in NP. So this dot reshape is also one function you can use in NumPy. So this dot reshape, that's what I mentioned, reshape. So if you use this reshape, you can change an array into different shape. So the word
NP array is the library, and reshape and the other things
yeah,
you name,
reshape
their
is a
function
technique.
actually. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a function you can use in this NumPy. It's a the
Correct.
library we are using is NumPy, but this has lot of different functions you can use.
Thank you.
So this reshape is the one we can use for changing the shape of the array. So this array is like this, and you can change the shape. You can see it's like 2, 5. If it is only 2, 5, that means row and column. You're converting it into 2 rows and 5 column. But if you see, if you do it 2, 10, 5, that means you're splitting into mainly 2 rows. Then each of the row, you are converting into 10 rows and 5 columns. That's why if you have 3 kind of, if you see variable with 3 separations, that means first one is going for, we are making a subset of that 2 rows, splitting into 2 rows, and then each rows has 10 rows and then 5 columns. So a lot of things you can try with. Maybe you can try, like if you have like 10 cross 10, if I convert this into another 10 cross 10, so I can get like 10 rows, 10 columns. But you see, it depends upon the number. You cannot always, it depends upon the number only, because it's a square matrix, right? So if it is a square matrix, you need that kind of numbers in order to make these. Otherwise, depends upon some numbers, it will show error. So you have to see that how, if you have a number, how you wanted to reshape, then you can try different ways to reshape it. I have given some exercise, so you can try that. Then this I will go through quickly for the how to get information of an array. If you have an array, you can different things you wanted to know about type of dimension, item size, all these things, you can do this. If you see, I created an array here and I have defined D type as int16. So that means it's stored in 16 kind of bits in that way. So 1D array, if you specify the data type, then it store the array using less bytes. Then size should be small. So you can, if you want, you can do that, but it's okay, I think. So you just created an array, and then if you want to get the shape of the array, you have to a dot shape, and to get the dimension a dot n dim. And if you want to get the data type, a dot data type, and item size, maybe I will run this and you can see this. So first one is our array print a 1 2 3, and if you see print a dot shape, you can see it's like 3 comma nothing. That means it's basically a 1D array having like you can see it's 3 kind of elements in this, and a dot n dimension. So this is a get dimension. So you can see that it's 1D, so it's 1, and a dot d type, that the data type. So you can see that it's 60. This is because I specify this. If I didn't specify this, you can see it's in 64. You see it's in 64. If you want to reduce the size, you can specify it's int 16 or int 8, like that. And you can see that then print a dot item size. So this is size of each element. So you can see the size of each element is 8. I think I'm already mentioned here in numbers, like each integers is stored as 8 byte. And number of elements, you can see, if you want to see the number of elements, you can put a dot size. And if you want to find the total size is basically number of elements into size of each element. So you can do this a dot size into, so you can see that the total size 24. And another way of finding the total size is you can do a dot n bytes. So I think you have the script, so you can look into better and you can understand. If you want to find the size of the bytes, you can do in this way, or you can do simply a dot n bytes. So it will see the size of the array. Then here we can have like, if you want to select the multiple elements in the array, you can do like this. This is our array. So you have, there is a square bracket and you have to go for 0, 2. So I just taken the first element and the third element. And you can also define, sorry, maybe I'll just. You can also define a 2D array like this. You can create like this. And you can also get the shape, size, dimension, everything like this. You can try this. Actually, I had COVID, so my sound is now. Okay. I think like I don't have to explain this too much, but you can go for the script and you can type and see how to find the shape, dimension, and the type and the item size. This is for the 3D array. You can create similarly. Okay. So basically, this is how you can create 1-dimensional, 2-dimensional, and 3-dimensional arrays. You can create using NumPy. You can look into like you have to have a square, the curly bracket. You have this bracket, and then you have to define in a square bracket. And then if you want 2D array, you have to separate into each of them into brackets. So this bracket is a bit confusing. So just sit down and just check how this array is defined. Similarly, you can define a 3D array. And then this is how you can access or changing specific rows, elements, and columns. For that, you have an array like this, and then S is the array I have created. And then you can see that S of 2 is to 5. That means I am selecting from you can see 0, 1, 2. I mean second index till fifth index. 2 till, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the 5 is basically the 12th element, but the upper limit is not included. So you will get only 6, 8, 10 if you go for 2:5. Similarly, I defined in that you can see that there is dot and 4. That means you include all the elements up to 4. Fourth index. So 0, 1, 2, 3. 4 is excluded. So you will get like 2, 4, 6, 8. If you see this one, from 6 till end. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. From 6, so you will get the array 14, 16, 18, 20. So if you have something like S of, if you have just dot, that means from the beginning till end. So if you want to access all the elements from the beginning till end, you have to just give like 2 dots. S of like this. So if you have an array, now if you want to find the shape of the array, you can do like a dot shape. I already mentioned that. Then you can see that it's a 2 cross 5. That means it has a 2 rows and it has a 5 columns. So that's what it's mentioned. So you can use this dot shape to understand how is the matrix or how is the shape of the array. So now if you have a matrix, if you want to get a specific element of the matrix, you have to specify the row and column, right? So this means if A of 1, 2, this is our A is our array. So 1, 2 means 0th index, first index. So always think that this is going from 0, 1, 2, all the indexes. So it's going from, you see, it's like a first row, that is, and this second column. This is first row and second column is 0, 1, 2. So that is the 8. If you want to get the, so if you see that what is 1, 2, that means 8. So you are getting one particular element from this matrix. Maybe I can just type it here and maybe I will show it later. So it's like go from here I can start. It's 0th index. It's basically first index. Okay, if I do like that, you know, it's already commenting out. So I think you understood, like the first row is 0th index and second one is first index. So if you want for 1, 2, so it's the 1th, this row and the second column. So similarly, you can check for 1 minus 1, so that is 10. So this is first row and the last element 10. If you do here 0, you will get 5. 0th row, last element. If you want a specific row, what you have to do is 0, comma this. That means from 0, 0 till all the yeah. So it's only gives one specific row. So maybe I can just print here. Yeah. So if you see here, A is a 2-dimensional matrix. It's basically an array and we reshaped it. And if you see that 0 and the rest of this, that means my sound is sorry. I mean, after talking this too much, you know, my sound becomes breaking. Yeah. So
No problem.
okay. It's okay. It's okay. So this is a array A, and like we are getting all 0. 0 means the first row, and we are getting all the rest of the elements. So that's why if you want 0, that means you are getting only first one. If I go for here 1, this one, you will get the second one. You see, if you want to access the second row, you have to give here 1. If you want to access the first row, you have to give here 0.
Yeah, correct. There is a, sorry for interrupting. Maybe you
sorry?
can take like a 5-minute break if you need, because seems like you need a break. We are okay with that if you take
Yeah,
it.
not really.
Okay, maybe I'll just quickly have some water or something and come.
Yeah, I think for today is enough, I think.
Yeah, also I think it's for today is enough.
Yes.
I just want to see how much I have to. I thought I can cover a lot of things, but it seems to be, it's difficult to cover a lot of content, I guess. Okay. Yeah, I had a lot, I guess, to go through each of this, Mhm. Okay, so I was thinking, how much, okay, whatever. I mean, anyway, I cannot, go through all these things today.
Yeah, I think only 15 minutes left, so we can have maybe a short break within 2 minutes or 5 minutes, and
Yeah.
later on, if you want, you can continue. Otherwise, it's fine. You can just end up here, and you can continue from the next Saturday.
Okay, maybe I will come within, maybe I'll just drink some water and come quickly.
Okay, it's fine.
Okay.
Hope you get better soon.
Okay. I'll just come back soon, just have it, some water and come. Okay, it's okay. I can maybe we have only 10 minutes, right?
Yeah.
So maybe I'll just. I think we can quickly go this much. Okay, so you can just I just mentioned here, right? So you can get a specific row and specific column. If you want to get a specific column, you have to go, because first one is showing about basically row and second one is the column. So if you have like a in order to get a specific column, you have to go through this way. So maybe I have to print here. So if you see, it's array, and if you want only this is means one means I'm just considering the first column 0 1, and I'm considering all the rows. That means this one. So basically, this basically it's row comma column in this way. So we are considering particular column and we are getting all elements in the row. That's why this definition shows. So here I have defined it more way, like you have a start index, end index, and step size. And here you can see that here row is from 0 to final. You can see if there is a comma, that means you're separating two things. So this part is column part and this part is basically row part. Oh, sorry. Mm.
If we want to undo something, we need to go to menu. We cannot do it like
Oh,
Control Z.
yeah. Yes. So, okay, I was giving like 0 to final, and I don't remember what I have given here. 0 to 5, column is from 1 to 4. Okay. In steps of 2. Okay. Okay. I think it was like this. So this means here row is from 0. If you have this symbol 0 to final, and the column is from 1 to, because the final one is not included. So 1 to 4 and in steps of 2. That is what it's showing here. Let's see if it shows some error or something. Yeah, it's showing some error. Row is from 0 to okay.
I think in here we need to remove either the colon or comma, maybe. One of them.
But we are shifting it into we are just 0 to 2. Oh, okay. Let's see 0 to. If I just give like this, how it comes.
Sorry, can I
Yeah,
say
yes,
one
yes,
thing?
yes.
You could delete the sign of equality
Sorry.
at the beginning. At the beginning, you see, you when you edited it, you add equality sign. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Maybe I cannot.
Yeah.
Somewhere here.
Yes, A is
Equal sign after A.
Yeah. There shouldn't be equal sign. You just
Okay.
edit it.
Sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. You know. Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry. I was like, not pay attention. Okay. We are taking the. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Thank you. You know, I was like, defining an array or something. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah. Thanks for so if people are understanding actually. Okay. Thanks. Okay. Yeah. So that means like, you have to show A also, otherwise it's difficult for you. Yeah. So if you see here, you can see this is an array, and I'm taking from 0 to final. Means all rows are there, but what is the columns? Column is from 1 to 4 with a step size of 2. That means column is from here, starting from 2, then 3, then the 4. I mean 0, 1, 2, 3. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I was defining it still 5, but it's going from each step of 2. So you can see that then it is from 2, 7, 3, 8 is not included, and 4, 9 will be included. So that's why is it understandable? That means we are considering all rows, but what columns we need is like in here. We don't need all columns. We need only columns like from here, from 2, 7 and till 5. 5 index means 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here it is only 4, so it's fine even if I give 5 here. And it's step size of 2. So 1, then this is not included, then this is included. Because if I didn't give here this one, you can see that it will come out till all of, because I need all elements, so I can give 5. If I give 4, the final one is not included. You see 2, 3, 4. If all the row we are considering 0 till all, that means we are considering all rows. All rows means 0th row as well as first row. That means 0 till all, and the columns is only from 1 to 4. So that means it's only from here. 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9. Maybe you sit and try with this, you can understand. So this is basically, if you have a comma, first one is row, for second one is column. This dot symbol means starting from where till all the rest of the things is included. What's the time? It's okay, almost over. So here it is like, you have reshape and you can how to slice the matrix, and that's what I wanted to show you here. Okay, I can maybe quickly go through this, so you can just try some examples in the exercise question. So this is a matrix A. So I reshape. You see, I can print A dot shape. I can find the shape of the matrix, and also then you see what I can get from this. The shape of the matrix is 5 by 5. You can see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 rows, 5 columns. This is a shape of the matrix. But what I need from this is I need all rows till 3 and columns from 2 to rest of the columns. So that means what? I need all rows till 3. 3 means 0, 1, 2, 3. But we know that the final thing is not included. So 0, 1, 2. So I have to get all rows till here, till this, but the columns is only from 2 to rest. That means this is 0, this is 1, this is 2. So 2 to rest. So that means I get a matrix something like this. From, you can see 35, 40, 35, 40, 52, 13. So all these things. Is it understand now? So you have to understand, like, this is for row, this is column. This is all rows till the index 2, and then the column is from 2. So you are giving 2 conditions, so you get a matrix like this. So if you have this condition, what you should get? You see, this is from 3. So 3 means 0, 1, 2, 3. It's from 41. 41 to rest. So 41 and 51 is the only rows left. But the column is like, if you see only dot symbol means you're considering all columns. So you want, if I say you just find the array of these things. So if I can ask this question, right? So you can then try to figure out using this. This is rows and this is columns, and using these, you can easily figure out that. And if you have this, what it is? When you're considering all rows, but the columns is from 4. That means you are considering all rows, but the column is from 4. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 to 3. So you will get only from 40, then 4 till end of this thing. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that means you will get, if you want only final column, you have to do this expression for this matrix. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So just basically you have to understand one thing only. You have to be careful about the indices, and you have to see that if you have A is to B, the final one is not included. So similarly, you can create a matrix like you see np.arrange. That means it will create up to 28 elements from 0 to 27, and I reshaped it into 4. So you don't have to create one and reshape. You can do simultaneously using this expression. X is equal to np dot arrange, and you can reshape it, the matrix. 4 rows, 7 columns. So this is like, maybe you can try by yourself. I think the time is now, it's over. So this is, it's a better practice for you to think. If you have a matrix, how you can, cut the elements that you wanted. So these are kind of powerful tool you can do, right? If you have a matrix, how you need only this much elements. So how you can cut those from that. So that is kind of thing I wanted to say. There is some more things of this arrays, number arrays. You can do concatenate arrays, like you can mixing two arrays, and you can do some mathematics. As I mentioned, if an array, you can do a plus 2, a into 2, a by 2, and you can also do some statistics. You can find minimum of the element, maximum of the element, and all these things. There is another powerful tool is the conditional operation Boolean mixing, Boolean indexing. It's very useful. If you see, it's very useful for filtering and all. I can talk about this later, next class. So I don't want to rush it through, but I just created some assignment problems. So, but I didn't go so far. So you don't have practice, I think, but you can try creating your own program. And I have given, you can create a number array and all, but I didn't finish fully. So, but I can send you this thing, but okay, I can send you this assignment, but we haven't covered the full thing, but you can try. Maybe I can share this also. Yeah, and maybe, I think it's taking too much time. Maybe I'll try to next time, I'll try to make it more. This time, some confusion's coming. So, next time I'll try to make it more easy. And okay, there is some question.
Thank you, Aswati Raj, for your lecture. It was a
Okay.
very great and amazing.
Okay, there is
and
maybe can I send one book also? There is one book I
Yeah.
can share here one book like that, or I can send it to you and you can send it to the students.
Yeah, that's
sure.
better way. If you send it with the course manager or the course management
okay,
team, they
okay.
will share with us. Thank you.
Okay, I think that will be easy then.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can just tell me the feedback and all, like how I can improve the class, because I haven't taken any course like this, like online and all. So I don't know how much you people will understand. I cannot see your questions also. So I don't know whether it's very clearly understood for you people. You can give some feedback, so next class I can improve.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Aswati Raj. It was really an insightful and great lecture, and I believe that everyone has benefited and learned the new things. It was really understandable. And I'd like to thank you
Okay.
also from Dylan Brown and German Suslin for your participation to this class. So if you guys have any question at the end of the session, you can freely ask or write in the chat box.
Okay, so yeah, you can try practice the in the script. I have given some links for Python practice, so you can do some practice. And also, if don't know something, you can type in the internet and get. So don't worry, always you have to remember all the kind of things. So whatever I do is, if I don't know anything, I just go to the online and type it and how to correct it. But just you have to yeah, so that's all. So yeah, so if you have any questions, you can
Yeah, we
let
have
me
got some
know.
questions.
And
Some of participants raised their hands. Naqibullah Hashimi, if you have
yeah,
any
if it is
questions.
time is okay, maybe I can stay for some more time. And if you have any questions, I can stay if everyone is fine, or we can finish. Or if you have some kinds comments, you can inform me, because I can then improve for the next class.
Yeah, there are two people, they raised their hands, Abida Donish and Naqibullah Hashimi. You can ask your questions, please, if you have.
Yeah, actually, I have a question. Could you please direct to your Google Colab ones?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, in order to reshape a matrix or an array, it was a little bit confused for me that how do we determine the number of elements inside a matrix? Like, is it okay to multiply only the number of rows in columns, or what if we have a three-dimensional array? Like,
So you
I
mean
noticed that totally we had an array that the shape was like 2, 10, and 5. So the number of elements is 100. And another array was 5 and 5, which the number of elements were, I think, 25. So am I right?
maybe I can just go through where
The length to weight in height. Is that okay? Or maybe we have any other?
Can I help you with this?
Yeah. Can you just
Yeah,
really,
it's possible to use NumPy arrays with multi-dimensional arrays, actually. Yeah, so if I correctly understood your question, right? So yeah, it's possible to use it, and actually it's widely used in neural networks. But there will be classes about neural networks later. Yeah, so am I answered your question?
Sorry, sir. The question is that how to determine the number of elements inside the matrix, inside our array, like how to determine that how many elements do we need inside our 5 matrix, for example, if we assign it.
okay. I'm okay. I can say maybe. Yeah. So it's based on from the okay. I mean, if you have a matrix, you can see from the shape of the matrix, right? So if you go for the shape, B dot shape, so it shows like 2, 3. That means 2 rows and 3 columns. So it's a matrix, right? So you can see that how many elements. It's 5 cross 5. It's like 25 elements, right? Maybe I can just.
Okay, got it.
But I don't know. Maybe there is some to find the number of elements.
4.7 and the number of elements. Maybe it's the number of elements arranged to 28. Yeah.
It's like basically NP dot arrange 28. That means 28 elements, and then we reshape. So if you have how many elements? So if you see for A, if I just create. Like if you create np dot a range 100, that means it will contains like 100 elements. Like then you can reshape it into how many ways, how many metrics. So if you have a matrix like 5 cross 5, if you see this is a matrix, right? If you see the A dot shape, it's 5 cross 5. That means it has like 25 elements, right? 5 rows, 5 columns.
Okay, thank you so much. Got it now. Thank you.
Okay. So if you have a row, then you can find the length of the, if you have an array, if you 1D, you can find it using length, I think. If it is a list, you can length of the list. Also, maybe the number array, you can get the length of the array. So you can get the how many elements. The matrix, you can always get using shape. How many rows and how many columns, you can get the elements. Yeah.
Thank you very much. And thank you from all of you guys. So I think we are running out of time, and if you have any more questions, you can just send your question or share your questions through our WhatsApp group, and then we will answer your questions by helping our teachers. And I think I'd like to tell you that this is the end of this sessions, and see you all in our next sessions. And thank you very much, Aswati Raj, from your great lecture.
Okay. Thank you so much.